I wanted to be a teacher or a nurse, and I just didn't know exactly which one to choose, so I chose both. First, I became a teacher for 46 years, and then about halfway through the teaching career, I was lucky enough to be able to know that Hospice of the East Bay was waiting for me. And at the beginning, I was a volunteer on the weekends when I wasn't teaching, and then later on, after maybe a few years, they said, oh, come on, you can do a day when you're not teaching. And so I did, and then when I retired a few years ago, I went full-time hospice in the office as well as patient support. At the beginning, I was a patient support volunteer where you get to go out to facilities, board and cares, you meet people in their homes. I've also been an administrative volunteer, which means you get to help in the office. I've been a vigil volunteer where you sit with a patient as they're dying. I've been a palliative care volunteer. We are about 50 years old and have been established in the community. I've just now, in the last couple of years, expanded out into Alameda County. So we're a large, about 300 patients per day. And we also have palliative care, which have about 55 patients. My favorite role at hospice is to be able to help wherever I am needed. If it's in the office or going out to see a patient or whatever is needed. Each day is just a special treat for me to do whatever I'm going to be doing. For instance, tomorrow I'll be going out and doing 2 field observations, and the next day I will be doing a mentorship of a brand new volunteer, and that includes my teaching as well as exposing them to hospice care.
Kay is probably the example of the perfect volunteer. I've been able to work with her for the past 13 years, and she's in our office every day. She is a jack of all trades. She does whatever, if there's a need, she fills it. And for us and for me, Kay is what we all want to be when we grow up. She is dedicated to service, her family, our patients. And so she's the perfect volunteer.
Service and volunteerism has always been part of my life. Even volunteering with my mom just made me feel like I was helping out others and it was enriching my life. And I think that that's also what my husband and I have always tried to do for our girls and grandchildren too.
One evening I was in the office and Kay comes wandering in my office and says, I'm on a mission. And I said, well, what are you on a mission for? Well, we had a patient at our Brenn's house and all she wanted was jelly beans. And so she said, do you happen to know if anybody has any jelly beans around here? We get the jelly beans and Kay takes them over to the Brenn's house for the patient. She ended up only putting one in her mouth just for a short period, but what joy that jelly bean gave to that woman. That was the only thing she wanted. And Kay was determined that she was going to find a jelly bean.
What I hope for you as the audience is to know a little bit more. First of all, service is really important. Also, Hospice of the East Bay has thrift shops that you can go and purchase things. We have the Tree of Lights. We have lots of wonderful programs that can be involved with you and your community. So take advantage of the things that you see out there that you can help. The impact that Hospice of the East Bay has to me is part of me. It's part of just like having dinner or lunch. It's just part of the way I operate, and I think about it at all times.